right behind me is the Wellington courthouse. Right now it's about 3 degrees. It's absolutely bloody freezing. G'day, Goose here. Come join me as I visit the last town on the Murray River system before it enters the lakes. And stay tuned as I find an unbelievable free park and campsite just a few kilometres upstream. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So I'm down here at Wellington, have arrived, and I'm come down to their, how can we call it, their reserve, the community reserve. It's very, very, very pristine. It's got a bit of a kids playground up the top there, a few barbecues, etc, etc. But down here on the water's edge on the river, this is where probably all the action happens. There's probably going to be a lot of the ski boats and jet skis come down here and do a bit of fishing. There is a boat ramp just over there. As you can see, there's a boat ramp over there somewhere. Yep, over there. And it looks very, very, very popular. Might throw a line in later, I don't know. But as I said, we finally got here. Wellington's not a big town. They've got one pub, a small old caravan park, and a bit of history. But we'll probably go back and have a look in a minute before we... it's starting to get a bit late. The sun's starting to go down behind us. It's starting to get a bit late, so we'll probably find out where to put our heads down for the night. Maybe go to the pub, have a few frothies. You never know. Wellington, quite a nice little spot. Last town on the Murray before it hits the lakes. And there's a ferry, so we can go across the other side over there, and just over that way, downstream a little bit further, there's the ferry that'll take you across. So let's go have a look and see what we can find before we call it a night. Well, there's the playground I was telling you about. Over the back there's toilets and a few barbecues over there. But the view from just up the park a bit, absolutely quite spectacular. So I've come down the road a little bit from that little park that I was at earlier, and right behind me is the Wellington courthouse, I believe. So God knows how old it is, but it's the Wellington courthouse, just on the banks of the Murray here. As you can see, there's the ferry. So this is the courthouse, the old Wellington courthouse. I'll just spin it around and let's have a good look at it. Now, by a look at the sign on the door, you can actually use it for group accommodation and venue. So not a bad little idea. I've got no idea how old the place is, but let's have a look around. So it's the caretaker's place next door, but that's probably where the accommodation is, actually next door. Add on to the courthouse, and of course there's the ferry right out the front. So it's very very historic. If you're not familiar with the ferry system here in South Australia, they are all free crossing the Murray. We've got a couple of bridges, but majority of the smaller towns are all free. So very inexpensive, and it's quite an enjoyable way to cross the river. But this one's the Wellington one. A couple of windmills in the distance, and a lot of pelicans sit in the middle of the river and over there on the logs drying off. Maybe because it's late in the evening. I think it's about 5 o'clock-ish. So I'm just crossing the ferry. There's a little bit of a camp spot I want to have a look at before I say the end of the day. It's only about 5-6 k's down the road, so I'll go check it out if it's worthwhile staying there the night, or if not, I'll come back to the one here at Wellington. But right now, the Wellington Ferry is doing its job, getting us across the river quite safely. The Murray alarm clocks are flying around in the distance over there, the cockatoos. Quite an enjoyable little crossing. G'day. We decided to stay last night at a place called Fred's Landing. Now this place is about 8 k's upstream from Wellington, about 5 k's downstream from Tailem Bend, and it's actually quite a nice little spot. I'll show you around later on at what's actually here. Just a boat ramp and a nice little picnic area where you can sit back and relax, throw a few rods in. Probably this looks like the ski boats do come down here, the jet skis as well. So yeah, actually quite a nice little spot. And right now it's about 3 degrees. It's absolutely bloody freezing. I'm sitting out on a bench having a cup of coffee in the morning and just enjoying the view what's around me at the moment. Haven't thrown a rod in yet, but definitely once I finish the coffee I'll probably do a little bit of fishing. But yeah, Fred's Landing, just as I said, just downstream from Tailem Bend, upstream from Wellington, here in South Australia. Very nice little spot if you're looking for somewhere for maybe a spot for a day. I wouldn't say more than a day, but you could extend it, but it's no camping, so you just park up and just enjoy the place. So just a bit more look at the Fred's Landing here. As you see, there's the boat ramp there. There's a little track that goes about 500 metres. You can go through a walk, but nothing much special. Bit of a car park area, so it must be a fair bit of a day use here. And here's where I've parked, just over here. It's quite spacious, but it's a nice little spot. Do a bit of fishing, and I stayed here last night. As I said, it was absolutely freezing. It's been a bit of a cold snap happening through at the moment, so absolutely freezing. Not too bad, and this is virtually where I parked. A couple of chairs, bins. I did hear the council guy come in this morning to the bins, and just up there Behind me there, just up by the road, you can see that yellowish building. That's the crapper, it's the toilet. Looks like it might be a bit of a septic job. Not sure, but it looks fairly clean. I haven't been able to find any drinkable water down here, but hey, you can drink the Murray. But this is what I woke up to this morning. Absolutely fantastic. Sitting here on the bench having breakfast, cup of coffee, a few rods in, nothing much happening here fishing wise. It's actually blowing a gale, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've got the windsock on my camera. Hopefully it might take some of the wind out. Fred's Landing, just out of Taylor Men in South Australia. Well, that's another video done and dusted. I hope you like it, and don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. So stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.